And what is up, everyone? Thanks for joining the show today. I am Joe DeHoyos, the host of Beyond the Woodline, and I have with me today my good buddy, Earl Mangrum. How you doing, Earl?
How y'all doing? Great, buddy. Great.
That's good, man. What you drinking?
Little Bud Light.
Yeah, I got me a little Blue Moon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's probably my go-to beer. That and the Shiner Bock.
Never tried that.
Never, huh? Well, yeah, it's definitely a Texas brand, but man, it's good beer. It's good beer. I'll drink the hell out of it. Mm.
I know what you
So
mean.
yeah, yeah. Most of the time I just stay home and over and have a few
Me too.
adult beverages. You know how that goes.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, man, I've been seeing you posting. We're friends on Facebook. We've never really had a chance to talk. Um,
Right.
but man, I see you post a lot of stuff, a lot of good quality content, man. So
Oh yeah.
man, I personally I thank you for that because unfortunately in this Bigfoot world, there's a lot of stuff that's not good
Oops.
quality. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. I got my group, as you know. I don't post nothing with blurry pictures and red circles, and shit you
Right.
can't see. Usually
Yeah.
everything I do, I'm filming it live. So if something happens to me, you see it when it happens. I want to see a picture or something. I don't want to see no blurry stuff.
Right, yeah. And and really I don't have anything against anyone posting pictures, man. I say post all the pictures you want, just don't blow them up. Don't make them blurry,
Absolutely.
don't pixelate them. Just take the picture and let people look at the picture for what they are, you know.
Absolutely.
You know, if we see something there, fine. If we don't, we don't. But I think when you pixelate pictures too much, you can't make heads or tails
It
out of
distorts it.
shadows
Yeah,
or
it distorts
trees.
it too bad,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. But it's like I said, I don't have anything against anyone taking pictures, man.
Oh,
Take
absolutely
all.
not.
Yeah. So what got you into the whole Bigfoot field, man?
Man, I've been doing it over 40 years. You know, me and my brother used to, well, I can say it now, he's dead and gone. We used to poach alligators in Louisiana where I'm from in the swamp. And that'd be my first sighting that we had. And some bad stuff happened there. But anyway, um, that's what got me going.
Right. What was like some of your first experiences realizing that there is something out here in the woods?
Oh, God. Man, I say my first one was up here in North Mississippi. My grandparents owned they owned a lot of land up here in North Mississippi. About it was over 3,000 acres, and they of course they native, and me and my sister was up there one weekend, and he had a big old Brahma bull tied out by the pasture by the pole barn, and they called it a chute right beside the barn. And we wasn't supposed to go through that barbed wire fence. He had a big old tree there, man. It's probably the size of my truck, and that's where he should train his mules and his horses at, you know. And he grew a bunch of apples and watermelons and stuff. But me and my sister knew he had some green apples and some red apples in crates behind that barn, and we had to cross through that fence to go get it. And we crossed through that fence, and we heard something hit. It was a tree, actually, a huge tree limb hit the corner that of his pole barn on the right hand side. There was a tree line that goes forever on that side, and we didn't think nothing about it. And then we heard something jump on the building. We both stopped and looked up, and it was like a big monkey or something. Hell, we was kids, man, probably 8, 10. We didn't know what it was, you know. And then the bull started ranting and snorting and shit. And we made it back there and got them apples. And we made it through the barbed wire fences, uh, and got almost to that big old tree where we cut to Grandpa's house because he was out there plowing the field with his mule, and whatever that was, that bull got loose, and whatever that was on that tree come toward us, and me and my sister jumped behind that tree, and whatever that was got between us and that bull. I mean, it's just like instantly. And it grabbed that bull and twisted his neck, graveyard dead right there. in front of us.
Oh
And
shit.
we was kids, man, you know.
Right.
And the first thing I thought of was my grandpa, man. I turned around and we seen him coming that way. I'm like, oh shit, I ain't gonna never make it to my next birthday, you know, because he'll wear our ass out.
Right.
My sister, when the bull was running toward us, before he got to where we was at in that tree, she hauled ass toward that barbed wire fence where we snuck up under, and that razor wire cut her little legs, man, like razor blades, all to hell. And I just knew then, I knew I was out. Yeah, I just knew what was fixing to happen. And anyway, my grandpa grabbed us and he went over there and picked me up by the nape of my neck. Towed me up to the front porch where that razor strap was, and I'm waiting on it. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Right.
and he just sat me down and asked me if we was all right. And he said, I told y'all don't ever go back there. He said, don't ever go back there again. You know, and that's pretty much the end of it, you know. So he kind of left us in a shock mode, waiting on him to come busting through the door with that strap, you know.
Right.
But he never did. And years later, he passed away, and my grandmother was Indian too, and she we finally found out that he grew watermelons and apples, and he grew, I forgot what else he grew, watermelons and apples and cantaloupes. That's what it was.
Mhm.
Behind the pole barn for them, and that was
Oh,
he grew it for them because they knew, you know, they knew years before what was there. He didn't go into the field. He didn't go into that tree line past the field, and they didn't come mess with him, but they protected him. You know, they
oh yeah.
protected him, my grandma. And when he passed away, we went back up there years later, and my grandmother, she passed away 6 months later, of course. And she said they keep leaving watermelons on her porch,
Hmm.
you know. So I thought that was pretty. And if I knew then what I know now, I would have never left that area, man. You know.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'd say that'd be the first time I seen one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really interesting, and that's really cool that they did that.
Oh yeah, it's
You hear that a lot, and and I believe that it happens. You know,
oh yeah,
uh, yeah.
yeah, it
Uh,
happened.
whatever happened to that land?
Hold on one second, I got an airplane coming.
Oh, okay. The Men in Black.
Okay, I can hear you now. What?
I said, whatever happened to that area, like to all that land?
Oh, I own it. I'm the
Oh, okay.
last one in my family that's still alive,
Oh,
so
okay.
I still own all that land and stuff. And I go back up there. Um, their house is gone, of course, because there's a wooden plank house.
Right.
But the chimney, the stone chimney's still there, and that old pole barn, just collapsed. You know, it's disintegrated now, but that big old tree and that old rusted barbed wire fence is still dangling. You know.
That's funny. Any signs of the hairy guys?
Well, I didn't really looked. Last time I went up there was a few years ago. It's about 3 hour ride from where I'm at to go all
Right.
the way back up there. And I just basically I don't have time, but I need to make more time.
Right.
Um, Last time I went, you could see the tree breaks. All the tree breaks are going down all the way down the fence row. You
Hmm.
know, so that's a marker for juveniles, I believe. So,
Okay.
but
Okay.
anyway, that's the last time. Yeah, they still there. They still active.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, man. Tell me about the time you got hit in the back of the head.
Oh shit. Um, yeah, I got that was years and years later. I knew where they was at, you know, but I don't take nobody with me, you know. I go by myself.
Right.
Um, because they sense me. I believe they know who I am after all these years, and they accepted me. They allow me to go to certain spots, you know. And it seems like every time I go back, they allow me to go a little bit further and a little bit further, you know. Um, yeah. I was back in an area, and I I could hear them. I could hear the tree breaks. I knew they was there. They was both sides of me. You know, I knew they was there, but you know, they was just watching me. That's all that was. And I got about, man, maybe a mile in, maybe a mile, and I seen a juvenile pop his head up and take off. And I've been following them over 40 years, and I just completely went stupid. And I knew that they got day watchers. I knew there's more than one. But when I seen them, I was so intrigued by it. I started following them, and I followed them down to the creek. I could see him about 7 yards across the creek and went up a hill, and he disappeared. And so I went down to the bottom of the creek and went around it, and that's when I got flanked with that rock in the back of my skull. Got nine staples in it. You know.
Right. So, do you think it was a warning, or do you think there was
Oh
an
yeah.
accident?
No, that was a warning. That was a
Okay.
juvenile. That was a female doing that. That was a juvenile. You
Okay.
know.
And
But
what
I
do you
mean,
think
it
that
was
was?
my
You
fault.
were just getting.
I'm not gonna blame it on them. That was my fault. That's
Yeah.
their home.
Right. Yeah. Got too close. They didn't like that.
Exactly. I mean, I,
Yeah.
I heard the noises. I heard the tree breaks, and but I was so intrigued seeing that juvenile that close in front of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just my mind went dumb. So, but I knew
How good of a
better at
look
the
did you?
time.
Right. How good of a look did you get?
Do what?
How good of a look did you get?
Uh, I got a great look at it.
Oh yeah. Can you describe it?
Reddish, dark brown.
What about the face?
Uh, just a long, wasn't really a snout. Wasn't no hair on the face on up in here. You know what I mean? Um, that's about it. Just long, matted hair.
Okay.
You know,
What do you think Bigfoot are?
man, I've been asked that question 100 times on
Hmm.
all the shows I do. I believe they're part of the missing link.
Okay.
That's what I believe. You know,
Okay.
anything that can survive in the woods in the world right now is amazing.
Right.
But anything that can survive as long as they have with nothing and they still multiply, yeah, the the reason you're seeing more sightings is because the land developers are taking their homes away from them, man. Just
Right.
like they did, just like they did the Indians. I mean, they build they stripping hundreds and hundreds and thousands of acres for timber, and they're taking their home away, and they putting dollar stores in on everywhere in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
You know that's why they keep popping up. That's why you're seeing more and more. You hear about more and more sightings of. I mean, y'all forced in their hand. What they gonna do? You know what
Right.
I mean?
Yeah. I think they will come near civilization if they it's an easy meal. But I also think that uh, they have homes or dollar stores or whatever you want to call it built there purposely to maybe kind of move them out too. Because there's a location in the Sam Houston where my friend of mine had a pretty good sighting with a pretty good sized clan, and
Right.
now they're getting ready to tear all that part of the woods down and build homes.
See, that's I don't get that, man. I mean,
Yeah.
but
So it's almost you almost have to keep it to yourself because if you start telling people, then I think they're going to run in there and run people out or run them out rather.
I keep it to myself
Yeah.
unless most people that really know me, they know they know how I am, they know what I'm about. So I mean, I respect them people highly, and they respect me. So you know,
Right.
uh, where I live now, I live on a dead end road now, and I got a group by me right now. They've
Right.
been here for years, and I could hear them at night. I got recordings, footprints, pictures of them.
Right.
They sometimes about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning they'll slap the back of my house where my bedroom is. You know, to let
Right.
me know they're around.
Hmm.
I get up and sometimes everything under my carport is rearranged. You know,
Really?
like the tables in the chair. They love playing with the tables and the chairs. I think that's the juveniles because they like. If you ever see a juvenile in the wood, they love to play hide and seek with you. They love to play, man.
Right.
You know.
Right. So besides Bigfoot, what else have you seen? Have you ever seen anything like the orbs that people talk about?
No, I've never seen no orbs. I've never seen nothing like that.
Yeah. But you know what I'm talking about, right? You've heard people mention that. Yeah,
Yeah, the lights, the orb. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I'm sure they exist, but I just never seen it.
Right. I can't compare the two together because the Sasquatch is a flesh and blood being, man. I call them beings, That's
Yeah,
what I name my group after. They're not creatures and not animals, they're beings, you
right,
know. And I don't believe, of course everybody has their own opinion, you know that.
right, right.
Everybody believes what they want to believe, but I don't believe that the UFO crap. I don't. No. I I've had too many experiences and I've seen too many all these years. I don't believe in it.
Yeah. Do you have any favorite encounters that you've heard other people tell?
That I've heard.
Yeah, like one of my favorite encounters is, of course, Mike Woolley's encounter. You've heard Mike Woolley?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite encounter.
Yeah, that was a pretty good encounter he had.
Yeah,
But I don't really have any favorites. Then you gotta single them out, you know what I'm saying?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just dropping by to show you some love. Thank you for dropping by. Yeah. So do you go out like regularly, like investigating or researching, or you just kind of walk around
Every
and
chance I get.
what was that?
Every chance I get.
Yeah.
When I'm not working, man, I go.
Okay. You actually go camping out there, or do you just
No.
hiking? No.
No, I just go hiking, just seek and find.
Right, right. Do you leave any kind of treats or gifts or anything for them?
Man, I used to years and years ago, but get to where now they expect it from me. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
And I don't do that anymore. I don't feed them. Um, I mean, I'll leave them certain things. I'll leave them toys or something, crayons,
Okay,
uh, you know, stuff like that.
right. Okay. Yeah, yeah. That's pretty interesting. I never thought about crayons.
Yeah, crayons. Um, the best thing you leave them is one of them white boards where you write on it where the marks a lot.
Right,
You wipe it off.
right.
Best thing you do is leave one of them out there, nailed to a tree. And I got two spots I go now, and I leave them markers in it and go back out there. I'll write something on it or draw something on it, and I've had a few reactions with that. So I mean,
Yeah. He's in Mississippi. Somebody asked what state you're in.
yeah, Mississippi.
Yeah. So you
I
think they
mean,
figured it out how to use the marker?
oh, they already know.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
pretty
they
neat.
know. I
Yeah.
mean, they know. I've had when I sit outside here at night with all this land across from me at night. I don't use trail cameras. I don't use camcorders. None of that crap, man. Uh, because they can sense it. They know. They can hear you 10 times better than a deer can easily.
Right.
Um, I usually turn my phone on silent and put a towel, lay it on a towel, and then cover it with a towel. And that's that's where I get some of my best sounds at. Just sitting here or wherever I go at to stay.
Right.
That's where I got that big 17-inch print I
Oh,
sent you here.
okay. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, God, I should have put that post. I should have put that picture up so people can see it. Um, I was going to ask you too. Oh no, not ask you, but I was going to tell you a story. A friend of mine took out a big jar of peanut butter, like one of the big jars, and he set it out there on like a stump or something where they would always go. And he went out there a couple of days later to check it out, and he saw the jar and it was still there. And when he picked it up, it still looked full. But when he unscrewed the top,
It was
there was
open,
like
wasn't it?
there was like one big finger dip out of
Yep.
it. But they put the top back on.
Yep.
You know, that was pretty cool, man. I think it's
Oh
funny
yeah.
when they figure stuff out pretty quick. You
Yes.
know,
Yeah. They do. They do.
and they're not dumb. Um,
No.
I've left
No.
out those chem lights. You know, the kind you break and you shake up. You know,
Yeah. The glow sticks.
yeah, they got the glow sticks. Yeah, I've left those out there and seen them moved around, and uh,
Oh yeah.
so
I
yeah,
use
I
them.
think I think they like that that kind of stuff. And I never tried toys. I probably need to. Um, yeah,
They're more curious with toys than anything else that I found. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. And I've heard other people talk about that. They leave toys. I've heard people have good luck with the squeaky toys.
right?
Yeah. So maybe I need to start doing that. Implement some of that into my investigations.
Yeah, you just got to remember where you put them, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You ain't lying. Man, I've forgotten where I put recorders, but I've always wound up finding them. I
I've
got a
done
friend
this.
of mine right now, still to this day. He has a trail cam out there. He has no idea where it's at.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you got to remember where you put your stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's funny. Yeah. We had we actually went out there maybe 2 months ago now, and we were looking for his trail cam, and it's like, man, I know I put it out here somewhere, but shoot, he couldn't find
Keep
it.
looking, you'll find it.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll probably find it one day when we're not looking.
Absolutely. That's usually how I find my stuff when I go back.
Right. So what do you ever go out anywhere else, like besides your property, to investigate?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I follow all kind of counties, man. Oh
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Oh yeah. I got 5 or 6 now. I've just added another county now.
Oh,
So
nice, nice, nice.
it takes a lot because I work all day and on the weekends, man, I've lost a lot of things in my life and a lot of people and relationships because of what I believe in and what I'm doing. And
Nope. Yeah,
you
you're
know,
right.
I'm not gonna change. I'm not gonna change it. So either you accept it or bye.
Right.
Doing it.
Yeah.
I've been doing it too long, man. You know.
Yeah. You know what? And I tell people that too. Um, I, I don't put my personal stuff out there, but I'll say this. I met someone one time, and we had a good rapport. We were getting along, and I told her about the podcast that I do, Bigfoot and UFOs and aliens, and I cover a bunch of other strange topics.
Right.
And the next day, she like shut me out, and I didn't hear from her for like 2 months. And then one day, she finally calls me and says, "Hey, I need to tell you something." I said, "What's up?" And she's like, "I need to tell you why I stopped talking to you." I said, well, "Okay, well, tell me." And she goes, "It wasn't the UFOs, it wasn't the aliens." She goes, "I was good with that." She goes, "It was the Bigfoot.
Thanks, bro.
It was the
Yep.
Bigfoot." And I said, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah." So it was the Bigfoot that she couldn't get. She couldn't get. I was like, "Well, that's okay. That's fine."
Yep. Absolutely, man.
Yeah,
When you get, I've been like I said, I've been doing it all these years. When you get as far as I'm in this rabbit hole, there's no stopping. You can't turn back. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
I mean,
I
I've
mean,
I've had encounters with them. I've had, yeah. I mean, yeah. You can't stop
yeah,
because you'll never get it out of your mind. You can't stop. That's
yeah,
it,
yeah,
it's worse than drugs, man. I'm telling you, it's
yeah. It probably don't cost as much as drugs, but
yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
Well, I don't know, man. Drugs might be cheaper considering the camera and the equipment
yeah,
and the trucks and the gas and all that stuff,
yeah. Well, I know
But
that's one-time purchases. You make that purchase one time, and you're good
that's
for a
right.
while. Yeah.
Is you
So that.
good to go.
Yeah. And once you
Absolutely.
got it, you're good. I've got a lot of equipment, and I haven't replaced anything in the longest time because I take care of everything I have. And
Right.
so initially, I spent a lot of money, and I'll still buy a recorder here or a trail cam here. But I'm lucky enough to have friends and family who, like, for my birthday, they'll hook me up, or like this
Right.
Father's Day, I'm gonna get taken care of. So you know, so I don't have
Wow.
to spend too much money.
Wish I had that hookup.
There you go. We're gonna get you a GoFundMe page.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go fund, go fund me Squatch page.
There you go. Yeah, Squatch money. So, have you ever been truly scared, other than with when you were young with with what happened to that Brahma bull?
Man, you'll always if you don't have that fear in you, you shouldn't be
Right,
out in the woods.
right,
There's
right,
always that one thing in the back of your mind.
right,
I mean, they can kill you at any time. You
right.
know, most people go out there, like the YouTube arm researchers, man. I don't even fool with them. I don't believe, man. I'm just, I've been doing it so long, hands on, and yeah, you'll if you ever have an encounter, hands-on encounter, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Yeah, you always have that fear, man.
Right,
You know,
right. So do people like in your area know who you are? Know what you do?
not around me. I try and keep it. I try and keep it, to myself around here.
Right.
Um, because I protect my forest friends, man. I don't want no helicopters and vans coming around me, and you know what I'm
Right.
saying.
Right.
So
Yeah.
if I protect them, whatever it costs me to do it, I'll protect them.
Yeah. That's
Because
good.
that's just the way I am.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally understand that and get that. Yeah. There was for a long time I didn't really broadcast what I did. I didn't hide it, but I didn't really broadcast it.
Right.
But of course now everyone knows what I do.
Yeah, it takes a lot to get it out, don't it?
Yeah, it does. But for the most part, all the results have been positive feedback. So you know,
Absolutely. That's what you
but
want, man. That's
yeah,
what you
yeah.
need.
And what's really funny is like people that know me. I mean, I'll get a phone call or a message or someone through the grapevine wants to get a hold of me. Hey, this is what happened to me, and I had this going on, and so
Right.
so
And
usually friends or family.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'm the lone survivor. I'm the only one in my family left, so I don't have that problem. But I got a friend of mine, man. He moved on this property. It's about 60 miles from me, almost to another county where I follow. And he was deer hunting uh, one morning, and he called me and he said, "Earl, you ain't gonna believe this, man." He knows I'm in the, he knows I'm into it. He just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? And he called me and he said, "Man, Earl, you ain't gonna believe this." He said, "I was in a deer stand down there hunting." He said, "Something grabbed my leg, man." And I'm like, "What?" He said, "I'm telling you, man, something grabbed my leg and tried to pull me out of my deer stand. I dropped my gun and everything." And I'm like, "Damn, what was it? A bear or something? How high was it?" He said, "Man, I wasn't about 12 feet high." I'm like, "Damn." He said, "I need you to come over here if you would." And I'll go back up in there with me and get my tree stand and my gun, man, because it scared the shit out of him.
Oh shit!
And this guy, he's like me. I was raised in the swamps. I've hunted and fished my whole life. I mean, woods is like my second home. And he was the same way. And so I went down there. I drove out there to his house, and we went down. So it was a logging road that they got blocked off, and we walked. There's a big old gate, and I got him in the truck with me. I said, "All right, come on, let's ride out there." And he was sitting out there, and he was nervous, man. I mean, he was just shaking, trembling. Like we got to the gate. I said, "Well, come on, show me where it's at." He said, "I ain't getting out of the damn truck." He said, "I'll tell you where." And he didn't get out of the truck, man. And I went on. I asked him. I said, "Man, was you drinking?" He said, "Hell no, I wasn't drinking. It was 6 o'clock in the morning." You got to ask people that.
Right.
I went on down there, and I walked right up to that deer with that tree stand. It was one of them old man deer stands. And I looked up at it, and the whole bottom part was wrapped around the tree like a paperclip, man.
Hmm.
I'm like, holy shit! And the first thing I did was look down the ground for prints, you know. And there's so many leaves and acorns and shit. I didn't really see nothing. And I seen this gun. I picked this gun up and finally got that tree stand off that tree. It took me a minute, and threw it in the back of my truck. Brought him back to the house. He said, "Man, that's it. I'm done. I ain't hunting no more." He said, "You know what that was?" I'm like, "I got a pretty good idea, man." He said, "You know what that was?" He said, "I'm done." And he's hunted his whole life in the woods, and that was it. And
Right.
hey, I bought two of his best guns that day from him. I said, "You sure you want to sell them?" He said, "Take them all, man." He said, "I'm done. I'm not going back." And the next week or two, he moved. You know,
Really?
and, yeah, oh yeah, he moved, man. He had I got another buddy of mine that was pretty close to that, about 25, 30 miles maybe on the other side of the county on the river, close to him. And he had a donkey that was ripped in half,
Oh
literally,
damn.
literally just. I got pictures of it, man, and ripped his dog in half. And
Hmm.
he called me to come out there, man. I thought he was messing with me. And I went out there, and sure enough, he said, "Man, look at this shit. You know what this is?" I'm like, "Yep, I know exactly what done that."
Yeah.
Because it wasn't no bobcat, it wasn't no nothing. Uh,
Yeah.
what else could rip a donkey in half? And I had a dog, I had a Roddy, man, about 7, 8 years ago, and it was ripped in half,
Yeah.
and it had the same shit. I mean, I was like, "Yep." And he moved the next day. He said, "I know you know what it is. Don't even tell me." He said, "I'm out of here." And it scared him so bad.
Right. Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a one of my coworkers I used to work with. He called me up. Well, he didn't call me up. We were at work, and he was like, "Hey, I got a friend I want you to talk to." And I'm like, "All right, what's going on?" And he says he came home and he found his dog ripped in half.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, so I went to go talk to the guy, and the guy lives out. It's a little bit north of Houston, not too far from the Same Eastern Forest. And actually, all that area really is all one big forest.
Right.
They just call it all different names. But um, he had three dogs, and that one dog was killed right there at the doghouse. They were all chained up. That was the only dog that was killed. It was ripped in half. And I said, "Well, why this dog?" I said, "What's so special about this dog?" He says, "I don't know." He says, "But that was my alarm dog. That was a dog that barked at everything that he saw." And I bet that's why they got his little ass because he was giving them away. You know?
Yep.
Yeah,
Giving them away.
yeah,
I got a big black and tan over here now, and I took him out probably 2 weeks ago. My tree line from my front door is like 70 yards across from my house,
right.
and that's their playground. And I took him out, and man, he went out to do his business. It's about 7, 8. Actually, it was about 8 or 9. It done got dark, and I noticed his ears stood up, his tail went straight, and he just froze like a block of ice, man. And I couldn't pull him with the collar and the chain the leash he was on.
Yeah.
I'm like, and his name's Bandit, you know, and I'm like, come on, Bandit, come on, and he just froze, and then he started peeing standing like that, and I've never seen him do that, and he come around behind me and got on the other side of me and just squatted down.
Right.
I'm like, what the hell? And then next sound I heard was Bandit, Bandit, and that was in my wood line across the street from my house. They called my dog. You know,
Wow.
that made me nervous. That made
Yeah.
me nervous. Now I got pictures of them. I don't know if I've sent them to you yet or not. Up under my carport, I caught one not too very recently, peeking through my window in my
Oh.
carport.
Okay.
Yeah,
You did send me that one. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He,
You did
you
send me.
it still got the oily residue from his hair on the glass. I ain't
Right.
washed it off. But
Yeah.
this was like 2 weeks after that they started calling my dog.
Right.
I'm like, okay, that kind of made me a little nervous, but Bandit, he won't fall for that.
Right. Yeah. 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 I think it's always good to have a dog with you. They
Oh, yeah. Well, they hate dogs, man.
right. Yeah.
I
So
did a podcast. I did a podcast not too long ago, and one guy was on there with me. I'm not gonna mention his name, of course, and everybody has their own beliefs and all. He said his dogs run over there and they'll pet his dogs. I didn't say nothing on that show. You know what I mean? I'm
right.
like, yeah, okay. Y'all drinking some good stuff on that show, man. Because
Yeah.
I've never
Yeah.
seen us. You know,
Yeah.
nah, I don't believe that shit. Yeah. But anyway,
But maybe Squash was checking to see how fattened up they were.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I have a friend of mine. He's an officer here in the Houston area. I won't say what department he works for, but he's a canine officer, and
right,
he's also have a personal dog, for a family dog, which is a pit bull. And that dog, he says, is mean as hell. It chases squirrels, rabbits, deer, hogs, anything it sees. It wants to fight. It wants to fight other dogs, other people. So when he takes his dog out, he takes it out separately when there's nobody around.
right.
Um, So they don't live too far from a wooded area, which is near the San Jacinto River here in Texas. And um, he was walking in the woods, and he said he started hearing footsteps, like somebody was walking, bipedal footsteps.
Right.
And he said he got scared, and he has a pistol on him. He was a law enforcement officer.
Right.
He
That
got
ain't good.
scared. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he got scared. His dog, that is mean as hell, got down between his legs and balled up,
Yep.
right? And he actually threw a rock in the direction of the footsteps, and nothing happened. Any other deer, anything was going to run if you throw a rock at it. You know,
Right.
um, this thing didn't even move. He said he took one step and it took one step. You
Right.
know, he had to carry his dog out of the woods.
I
Because
believe that.
yeah, it wouldn't move. So when he took me back to that area, we got to the woods and we're going in there. He's like, "Hey, I'm not going in there." I said, "That's okay, I'll go in there." He's like, "Joe," and I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm not going in there," and I said, "That's fine. Stay here. I'll be right back." So I went and did my investigation and or looking around, see if I could find anything, and I didn't. But I saw him like 2 months later, and man, he came running right up to me. I think we were at a Best Buy or something, and he saw me, and he ran up to me. He goes, "Hey, come here, man. I need to talk to you." And I'm like, "What's up?" He goes, "Man," he goes, "I took my dog out there, his canine dog." He goes, "We didn't go into the woods. We stayed in that little clearing right there, right in front of the woods, like right at the
Right.
wood line." He goes, "And I'm
Right.
throwing the ball, and my dog's getting the ball and bringing it back to me." He says, "I throw the ball." He goes, and as my dog runs down there, he hears these. He says, "I can hear the footsteps again." He goes, "It was the same exact footsteps." He says, "My
Oh, okay.
dog stopped and turned around and was growling at the woods. And he said he called him back. Hey, come on back, come on back. His dog walked back to him backwards. Wouldn't turn his back on the
Wow.
woods. Yeah. And he came to him backwards, and he says, man, he started growling and barking, which that dog does not do. It's a drug dog, and they train those
Right.
dogs not to bark, not to growl.
Right. They
'Cause
train not to bark. Yeah.
yeah, because those dogs are trained not to give away their position.
Exactly.
And yeah, he says, man, he goes, he went ape shit. I said, for
Wow.
real? He goes, yeah. He goes, and I never went back. And he sold his rifles and his four wheelers because he used to go riding back there. And he's like, I'll never go back in the woods again.
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
Wow. That scared him, didn't it?
yeah. And just he didn't even see anything, but just those events right there scared him enough to uh, not to ever go back to the woods again. You know.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believe it. Yeah.
But and
Wow.
this is a guy. Like I said, man, he's a tough guy, man. I saw him make an arrest one day. Uh, he got into a fight with a shoplifter, and the shoplifter he got one handcuffed on the shoplifter, and the shoplifter used it as a weapon, and actually broke his orbital bone. And
Damn.
yeah, and my buddy still made the arrest and handcuffed the guy. Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So he's not a punk, man.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Well, they'll put the fear of God in you, man. I'm
yeah,
telling you.
yeah, yeah. You're right about that because I've talked to people who are combat veterans, man. Who's like, man, that was the worst thing they ever experienced.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
military men.
I got one guy right now. Him and one of his buddies follow me. And they like to talk to me. They come over sometimes on the weekends, every now and then. And yeah, they was in Vietnam, and both of them did 2 tours together, and they got out.
Hmm.
And he asked me, he said, "You ever heard anything about rock apes, Earl?" I'm like, "Yeah." He said, and then he started telling me about the experiences they've had in Vietnam with the
Really?
rock apes. Yeah, man. He said, man, they'd flank us, start throwing rocks at us in trees. He said we was shooting up in the trees, and the more we shot, the more they threw rocks at us. You know. Oh yeah, he's convinced that it was a Bigfoot. You know, I don't know what
Yeah.
they call him over there, but he was they convinced it had to been one. So
Yeah. Yeah.
there ain't
Yeah.
no
I've
telling.
heard the stories. Yeah, I've heard the stories out there in Vietnam. I've never spoken to anybody, but that's pretty cool that you did. Yeah.
Yeah, my brother was in Vietnam. the one I used to go alligator hunting with, and
Mhm.
yeah, he did 3 tours, man. He was there. You know what I mean?
Right.
You wouldn't want to be with him in the woods at night with a gun. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
And
you don't want to be messing with him either, right?
you don't want to mess with him. And anyway, I'll tell you about it later off the air. But
Yeah.
that's we had an encounter, you might say, and that's the last time I seen him. So
Oh, okay.
it was pretty. Yeah,
Huh.
that's why I like to talk to people that has hands-on experience with them.
Right. Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. You know, you can walk in the woods, man. You don't know if one's. I tell people all the time on my group or any podcast I do, the first thing you do, man, is always look up and
Yep.
always look back. Don't look to the ground. I mean, you missing everything around you. You know,
Right. Right. Yeah. I always look up in the trees. And I always look up behind me too, just like you said, because you just don't know. You just don't know.
you don't know, man. I got some of the best hair samples I got looking up. You know,
Yeah.
that 7, 8 feet up in the air, man, on trees. Tree limbs and stuff.
Right. Right.
I mean, they're not gonna hand them to you. You got to look for it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. They're not going to come out there and pop up and say, "Hey, here I am. Take a
Oh no,
picture of me." Yeah.
I wish it was that easy. I could have saved a lot of money over 40 years, man.
Yeah. Do you think they'll ever come out of the government and recognize them?
The government's already recognized them. They're just not admitting it.
Right.
They
You think they'll
already
ever?
admitted it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in paperwork. I mean, they admitted it. They admitted they are there. I mean,
Yeah.
they just don't know what to call them. You know what I mean? I
Right.
mean, it's
Yeah.
Sasquatch. I mean, what else you gonna call it? A big
Yeah.
hairy man? I mean, come
Yeah.
on.
Do you think that's an issue with calling on people as far as the government goes?
I believe it is.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
there's always gonna be armchair critics. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's gonna be people that procrastinate this shit and that shit, just like they do now. But when you get in that subject's touchy, man. The
Right.
Sasquatch. There's no experts in this field. I mean, I've been doing it almost 45 years, and I'm telling you, there's no expert in this field because nobody knows anything. You just know what you find and see and hear.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and this is gonna be a lot of crap. Of course, there's been a lot of crap about it. You know, but I mean, they already know they there. They already acknowledge they there. I mean, Area 51 has them in it. They've already acknowledged that.
Right.
You know, but as far as the real truth goes, you'll never know. We'll never know, man.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah. I don't think the UFO field.
You know.
Right. You kind of broke up there, Earl. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I
Can you
think
hear
like
me?
as far as like the UFO. Yeah. You kind of broke up a little bit, but I was gonna say like as far as like the UFO field and even the paranormal field, there are so many groups that study all that stuff, and they more or less have the same opinions. But in the
Right.
Bigfoot world, there are so many different opinions, so many
There's
different
a
theories. You
there's a
know,
million different opinions, man.
right? Yeah. And it's unfortunate too that a lot of people get um aggravated. I guess you could
Misled.
say
They get
they're
misled,
yeah, yeah. There's a
misinformation, misled. You know, and most people that's never seen one, they believe what they hear. You know, you know what I mean?
right.
And I don't believe it, man, because I've been doing it so long. I mean, I don't know if you know Will Jeving.
Yeah.
Um, I got
Okay.
um, I got him, man. I got so many well known people, uh, that I know personally, and you know, I everybody has their own opinion about it,
Right.
but
Right.
when it comes down to it, you know, that's like the Patterson Gimlin film, man. I'm sick of looking at that. That's Man, come on, man. Y'all ain't got a real. I mean, come on, you know. There's more and more. Or you seen the Paul Freeman footage?
Right, right.
Okay, I mean, half the people think it's fake, half the people think it's real. I mean, you know
Yeah,
what I mean? There's always controversy, you know. Unless you actually out there and actually see one. If you see one in your lifetime, you're blessed.
right.
Trust me. You're so blessed to see actually one. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah, yeah. Will's encounter was actually a pretty good encounter too.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
was on. I did an episode. I did a episode on his show too. He wanted me to keep doing. He kept asking me. I said, "All right, I'll do one with you." So, you know, so I did one with. I did a show with him too. You know,
yeah, yeah.
but
He's
yeah,
actually one of my better friends. He's actually a real good
oh
friend of
yeah,
mine.
he's straight up, man.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. One of the things I like about Will is that he's so straightforward. There's no razzle dazzle with him. You know what I'm saying?
there ain't no bullshit with him. He
Yeah,
tells you like it is.
yeah,
That's why I like him. I
yeah.
mean, he's yeah, he'll tell you. I mean, he don't sugarcoat nothing. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
like Will.
yeah. Yeah, he's one of
Yeah, I
my
did.
favorites.
I think my show was 154. I think it was, and he named it. It killed the prize bull. You know, that's what he named the show.
Okay, was that on Creek Devil or was that
Yeah,
on the?
Creek Devil. Yeah,
Okay, okay,
yeah, it killed the prize. That was the name of it.
okay.
But
Anybody out there looking and listening to the show, go find that episode on Creek Devil.
oh, it's interesting.
Yeah,
I've done so many, man. It's just hard for me to keep up with them. You know,
yeah,
everybody keeps wanting me to do one, and you know, and I've turned down a lot. You know,
right.
because you know, people. You know, not no offense to you, but people that just okay, let's ask him this and that. You know what I mean? Nah, you ain't interested. You just want ratings, man. That's all you want. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I did one. You know, Michael Anthony, right?
The name sounds familiar. Yeah.
He does the 10 o'clock talks.
Okay.
He,
Yeah.
he's straight up. He's a real good friend of mine. I
Okay.
did one with him recently. Larry Batson. Uh,
Yeah.
that's my buddy.
Mhm.
Um, I've been on his show numerous times, man,
Mhm.
and he acknowledges me on his show. You know,
Yeah.
of course, he thinks I live in a Bigfoot playground. That's what
Yeah.
that's what he thinks, man. You know.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it, man.
Yeah, well, it's you know it ain't like I can walk up my door and find one, you know. But I just go to certain spots. I've been going so long because I know the activity, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, um, I don't know if I sent you the picture of my buddy's truck. I took my one of my well, this was years ago. My pickup was down, and I had to go to this spot. I mean, because I usually go a certain time, and the hell was that? And anyway, I had to go to this spot, and so he drove me out there in his Trailblazer, and he didn't have no bad intentions or nothing, you know.
Mhm.
I told him, I said, don't bring no guns up in here because I don't take no weapons with me, you
Okay.
know. I'll take a pistol with me. I got a pistol I take with me for snakes and shit like that if I can't catch them. Um, but when I get about halfway where I'm going, I'll put it in a certain spot. When on my way out, I'll get it, you know, because
Right.
hey, a pistol's the only thing that's gonna do is piss them off. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
And I don't want nothing coming up behind me and no day watchers jumping out of trees and shit on me again. So, but
Mhm.
we went up in there. We was about 2 miles up in there, and I've been in this area about 8 years, and because they got a big black one up in there, and I think he's mentally, you know, I can't call him retarded. Something's wrong with him
Right.
because I do his activity along the rest of them, you know. And but this one is he's kind of sketchy. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's bluffs charged me. I couldn't tell you how many times, but
Mhm.
he's never made to me. He just let me know, you know. And we got about mile, 2 miles up in there. Next sound we heard, I started hearing trees and shit snapping and hollering, and it sounded like two bulldozers fighting in the woods. That's literally what it sounded like. And
Mhm.
I already knew they done tore the truck up. I said, and my buddy, man, he said, man, let's get the hell out of here. I said, hold on a minute. He said, hell no. And we got back to his truck, and I don't know if I sent you pictures of it, but I'll send you
No.
some. Uh,
Yeah.
I broke their trust, man, because I took somebody with me, and
Oh.
they
Yeah.
threw. they demolished that Trailblazer, son. They got tree limbs in it, 8, 10 feet long. Uh, man, they demolished that Trailblazer,
Mhm.
and we had to walk shit about 20, 25 miles, you know, to get
Right.
a ride. Uh, but yeah, I went back, and after about 4 years, I kept going back. I finally regained their trust by myself again because they know my vehicle now, and well, I'm gonna attribute to that. And I'm the only one that goes back up in there. I know that for a fact.
Mhm.
And but now they won't let me go all the way where I used to go. I can get about halfway,
Mhm.
And if I don't hear anything, if I don't hear noises or trees or I'll just sit there for a while. And usually, if I start hearing noises, I can go a little bit further.
Right.
But yeah, I broke their trust, man. That's one thing you don't ever want to do is break their trust.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll send you a picture of it, man. It's got trees through from trees, not one. I'm talking about trees through the windshield from the front to the back. I mean, they tore this Trailblazer up, man. Yep. He won't even ride with me to the store anymore. He won't ride with me anywhere no more.
I don't know. I don't know if I blame him for that.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
tried to tell him, man, he wouldn't listen to me. He wanted to go. I'm like, well, there you go, bro. You
There you
believe me
go.
now? I
Yeah.
told you they, you know,
Right. Are they there year round, or they move around more in the wintertime or in the summertime?
they follow the seasons.
Okay.
Yeah, they always follow the seasons, man. They always follow water, of course, you
Right.
know that.
Right.
They always follow the seasons. They follow food habitat.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
I'm lucky. I'm lucky. I got my little group back over here now. Um, I haven't seen them in 6 or 7 months, but they back.
Okay. That's good. Yeah. I guess a lot
I,
of the other animals are moving in too.
yeah, yeah, they moving in. But I know they back. You
That's
know,
good, dude. That's good, man. Um, so, do you have any advice for anyone who might want to get into this subject and might want to go looking for these creatures?
well, yeah. Don't take a gun, and if you're scared, don't just stay at the house. You know,
Yeah.
don't wear cologne. Don't wear no deodorant. Um, I bathe in sand soap. If you know what that is, lava soap.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
kills all your scents. Usually a day or two before I go.
Right. Okay.
But just don't take no special video recorders or nothing because that ain't they can sense that stuff. You know,
Yeah. Oh, cool. Hey, do you smoke when you're out there?
no,
Okay.
I don't
Oh,
smoke. When I take a shower in that sand soap, I don't smoke till I get back from where I'm going
okay.
because I wash my hair from my head down in sand soap, man. You know,
Right. Right. Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
they,
I
they
was wondering that. I know I've heard stories about people who will go out there and smoke and never have any luck, and I think
right.
that's
You
probably
know,
part of it. Yeah. I think that's probably
I mean,
part of it.
they can smell you. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, a deer can smell you a couple, 2 or 3 miles. You know, um, these things can, man. They incredible beings. I'm telling you, they know you there before you get where you're going.
Yeah. Yeah. They definitely pay attention better than probably any other animal in the woods.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, man. Yep, I've seen a few of them. Yeah, you just got to pay attention to what you're looking for.
Yeah.
You got to have your mind right. You can't go out there scared. You can't go out there holding a flashlight. I mean, if you fear them, they can sense fear like a dog. They can tell if you mean them harm or not. You know, uh,
Right.
I think that's one reason they allow me to do what I do because I don't fear them. I mean, because I've had hands-on experience with them, and I don't fear them. I mean, I got a group by me now. They could have killed me then. They could kill me now. You know,
Right.
but they just acknowledge me. They used to leave me when I first bought this property. Like I said, I live on a dead end road, and then when I first bought this property, I always wondered why nobody wanted this house, man. You know, and I figured that shit out quick. You know, um, they used to leave me deer legs like ripped off. You know,
Yeah.
uh, they leave me a pile of deer legs in my front yard every now and then they leave me some kind of orange and yellow looking flowers, man. Um, there ain't no flowers around me. I know for 20, 30 miles. You know, I don't know where they come from. I don't have no trees in my yard. I got a 120-year-old cypress tree beside my house
Right, right.
and two pecan trees. But I don't have no flower trees. There ain't no flower trees in them woods across the street neither. So I don't know where they come from. But they used to leave them for me. And it seems like every year is something different. You know, when the seasons change, they leave me something different.
Right,
If you
right.
look at my page, uh, they left me a bow. Um, they left me a little wood thing with a like a vine, man. It's got like two or three things wrapped around into one,
Hmm.
standing on top of it. You know,
Right,
it's pretty cool, man. I see X's across the street all the time, different ones.
right.
Hell, this one right there now, probably 30 yards from me right now. I'm looking at, you know, but
Hmm.
next week it'll be gone. There'll be something else around here, you know.
Right. Well, that's cool, man.
Oh
Dude, I
yeah.
really thank you for coming on the show, man. We're coming up at the end of the hour here, but I just want to thank you, man, for coming on the show, man. I really appreciate that.
Thank you for inviting me, man. Hope I
Yeah.
wasn't boring, do you?
Yeah. No, hell no, man. You're good, dude. You're good.
Just check
Yeah.
out my page. Check out my group, man, on Facebook. You'll be impressed.
Yeah. 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 Especially you guys in Mississippi, man. If you guys check them out, man, I'm sure you got any questions, he'll be able to answer them for you, or answer them the best he can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
best I
Yeah.
can.
But that's one thing about this, man. It's like you never really know the answers, right? You just
No, you
yeah,
just know what you know. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I don't steer nobody the wrong way. I'll tell you what I know. You know, I mean, that's all you can do. You know.
Sure. Well, cool beans, man. Thanks for joining the show, and everyone in the chat room. Thanks a lot for joining too, man. I appreciate that. And you guys
Thank
have
you,
any
brother, for
questions
the
for me?
invite.
Yeah, yeah. You guys want to get in contact with Earl, man? If you can't get in contact with Earl, get in contact with me, and I'll send him your way. So I appreciate that. And Earl already got offline here. Maybe he had something to go do. But all right, guys. Thanks a lot. See you guys next week. Thanks. Bye.